We didn't even get an update on it. Alright, stripper, undressing beautifully, not art, just business. Golden Bird, electricity costs to rise 22%, and the fact Freeburg's #1 paper. Foreign investigators to build modern waste plants in Freeburg. Trade away. Oh my fucking god, our house burned down last night. My elderly father was inside. We need to somehow make sense of this and start planning a funeral. Yes. Dog died yesterday. I'm just terribly depressed. No, Mark, no, I'm sorry. But I'm gonna promote you. Will that make you feel better? You fucking deserve it, man. Ah, fuck. I need to pull some people. Alright. Oh, shit, yeah, we had, like, fucking nobody. The hospital just admitted a young woman named Judith Webb who has a history of drug problems. The doctors treated her for an overdose, but when she came to, she found she broke a glass bottle filled with saline, grabbed a shard of it like a knife, and sliced the nurse's face. A guard ran in, slipped on the puddle of saline, and knocked himself unconscious. Mrs. Webb then took his gun and began to shoot at the patients and medical staff, demanding she be released immediately. Holy shit. Okay. Paid my snitch his weekly fee. Stephanie Aguilar was going to visit a friend, but opened the wrong door and walked into the adjoining apartment where she found a serious drug lab. They were all unconscious, according to the elderly woman, apparently smoking angel dust or glue. Somehow I think they didn't even notice me. Alright. Mr. Boyd, we're featuring the police in our next issue of Sexy Uniform. We've already have some old photo shoots of models in police clothes, but we want to mix them up with some real cops on your staff. Freeburg Police appears in our. If the Freeburg Police appears in our magazine, we can only improve their image in the eyes of our readers. A minivan exploded over by the park. We're getting a lot of conflicting information, but the passing teenagers swore to God that it seemed like someone was probably firing shots inside the car. Okay. Ugh. A staggering man suddenly bursts through the door. He takes no notice as the police pulls down his pants and begins to take a shit right there in the hallway. Quietly grab the suspect. Two unkempt girls run out of the apartment shouting, "Adolf, we did it! We scored some meth!" Well then, put your face to the floor and keep still. Inside, there's a skinny bearded man with messy hair wearing a rubber apron. He's dancing beside a table covered in chemist flasks, while two other semi-conscious addicts quietly applaud him. Try everything you learned in stealthy super soft. Commonly approach them and put them in handcuffs. What?! Ah, shit. Nobody in or near the car fired any shots. The fire and subsequent explosion were caused by a problem with the engine. Mr. Boyd, I'm the manager of Big Star, Manuel Torreblanca. Big Star with a big problem, one I hope you can help with. Manuel woke up today in his hotel room and found a dead groupie in the bathroom. She'd come home with them from the club last night, and it looks like she overdosed, but I don't want my client's name all over it in the newspapers. Not when they're likely to call him an addict or rapist or murderer. Just keep the quiet. I need 2 reliable men who can discreetly get rid of the body. Money is no issue. Manuel signed a new contract for a new series. Chief, we feel like real stars. Can't wait to show my mom my picture in the magazine. Magna Merritt Jr. was approached by the modeling agency and looked so good that they immediately signed a contract and drove off in a limo. I think we just lost a colleague. An unidentified woman came into the city hall came to the office of City Hall employee James Montague. She pulled a gun from her purse and demanded a large sum of money. According to preliminary reports, Mr. Montague refused to play, so the woman started beating him and then shot him a dozen times. Alright, well, Shift B just lost a bunch of people. I don't know where the children come up with their ideas of fun, but at night they climb onto the roof of City Hall, bring picnics, and make out with each other, right in front of our blessed cathedral. Last month, one of the students walked over a rotten section of the roof and fell inside. Luckily, that part of the city has been under renovation for the past 6 months, and it was filled with soft materials, which broke his fall, but it's definitely something you need to look into. Okay. So an assaulter's a good choice for there. What? Pongdana! No! Oh man, he's been one of our A-teams for so long! Chief, we wrapped the girl in a rug, carried her out, and buried her. You don't want to know the details, right? $20,000. Holy fuck. Pongdana, no!
112 in progress.
A waiter at a restaurant saw a rusty pickup truck driving into a pillar on the other side of the street. Now the driver is just sitting in the car singing songs in an awful voice. I think he's drunk as a skunk. Alright. Markiplier, take Coleman. Today has not been a great day. Today's been really bad, actually. Excellent. Got Coleman's man points. We found lots of alcohol.
912 in progress.
Miss Mahid called in a complaint about a man with a shaved head who regularly extorts money from her. He comes in the evening, pounds on the door, and demands money. Money, money, money. Like it's the only English word he knows. Alright. I'm so fucking bummed about Pongdana. Fuck. Alright, so the security guard, he just like runs away with the booze. He comes in. He gives her a credit card. Then he shoots her in the head. The guard tried to grab his gun, but he was too fast and finished him off. And he just ran by. Alright, so we just need one more frame for that.
Complete.
The extortionist turned out to be the landlord, Mr. Sachin, who was simply demanding that Mrs. Mahid pay the rent. Seems her husband is several months behind. The city agreed to allow a biker parade and they need police escorts. Send your people immediately. Yeah, declare them all dead. Favorite Tribune, Gallery of Modern Art hosts suicidal artist Sigmund Hammerling, Golden Bird, Equipment, Dr. Equipment, and City Hospital outdated. And the Factory books #1 paper, Mayor Rogers, I congratulate our graduates. Oh, fuck. Police station is not happy with me. Weaver. No, Crombie. My father has epilepsy, and recently the seizures have gotten worse. They have more often, and they all end in tears. The doctors say he needs a new special drug that I can only get out of town. I'm the only one in the family who drives. Can I go get these drugs today? Yes, but come tomorrow. Drink too much, sure, Gorshkov. Shit.
.112 in progress.
A man is driving a buggy along the beach, knocking people over. Eyewitnesses say he's laughing like a lunatic. Great. Awesome. Great. My share. Alright. I gotta hire them for Shift B, because Shift B just lost a bunch of people. Oh, whoops. Oh, well.
216 in progress.
Some parents have gathered outside City Hall. Their children have all been diagnosed with mucopolysaccharidosis, a rare genetic disease that affects the nervous system, internal organs, and musculoskeletal system. Freeburg stopped purchasing the drugs required to treat these children because the medicine failed to pass annual certification. Parents are furious. Mrs. Poultry, leader of the rally, shouted into the bullhorn, "This disease is killing our children, and all they can do is play politics." I respect that. Not the playing politics, but I respect that stance. Although, it sounds like the drug didn't pass, so maybe it's dangerous to be given to your children?
Officer on scene.
Buggy is rushing straight to the patrol car. Shoot out the tires.
110 in progress.
And he was on cocaine. Mrs. Abbott called us saying that grown men are harassing schoolgirls by the swimming pool in broad daylight. Some pumped up guy in swim trunks was touching the adolescent girls, trying to lure them into the pool. Come arrest these perverts immediately. Why the fuck are you in a pool in January? January 7th. Excellent. Shit. Shit. Okay. Gotta wait for some people to come back. Alright. Mr. Boyd, we have just received some disturbing information. Port management hired a gang of thugs to teach our top union officials a lesson, hoping we back down in negotiations and put on the new port workout contract. Our sources have informed us that they're planning to catch us one by one and, so to speak, persuade us to change our position. We need protection for the remainder of the negotiations. Can you send a few of your most trusted men? 6 of my most trusted men is asking a lot, sir. The men weren't perverts, but licensed lifeguards. They were giving the schoolgirls a first aid lesson. Recently it seems like City Hall has been preparing for an invasion. All the flowers were getting trampled, so Mayor Rogers told me to move the main garden over by the back door. I was working there when I heard an important guy, a retired general or something, saying that a competent commander, covered by a couple fighters, could get in through the back door and penetrate into any part of the building. So there's no point at all in the whole central security system. Then he calmed down and said nobody knows about the back door except people who are supposed to know, and they all went for a drink. Competent commander. Okay. Then he should be there. Salter should be there. And I'm gonna put a breacher on the roof as well. Thomas Baxter, baker at the Crispy Tommy, claims that his rival, Jerome Roll, of the Livelihood Bakery has been spreading false rumors that Baxter spits in the pastries, mixes in hazardous chemicals. Many of his regular customers have apparently bought into the rumors and have gathered outside the store, ready to deal with the unfortunate baker. There are dozens of angry people. I managed to lock the door, but it won't keep them out for long, shouted Mr. Baxter over the phone. Okay. Julko Grobler reports that he overheard his hysterical neighbors fighting and swears he must have heard 4 separate voices. A short time later, shots were fired and everything went quiet. Mr. Gobler had previously noticed suspicious people in the residence and even saw them with weapons, but until now he was afraid to do anything. I don't know what I'd say face to face with those tattooed thugs, admitted Mr. Grobler through streaming tears. There's no way I could face them. Thank you for your help. 18,000! We've passed 1 million, people! Fuck 500,000! I doubled that shit!
1011A in progress.
On the eve of the premiere of The Longest Finger, an anonymous caller threatened that he was going to blow up the hall with all the moviegoers inside. The theater director said that the perpetrator had a voice like a child, so he's confident that it's a simple prank. But it was nevertheless obliged to inform the police about the threat. Yes, as you should have.
214 in progress.
Oh, gosh.
Sunrise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Fantastic. A man climbed into the lake of the zoo trying to catch a swan. According to a very worried zoo visitor, that man is crazy. He said he'd kill the bird if it didn't come. I'm not expecting success on this one, because we got Percy and Chavez. Chavez kind of sucks. Percy has a history of sucking, and they're different political affiliations. But it was who I had.
110A in progress.
Yep.
1011A complete.
A pedestrian was crossing the road illegally and was hit by a car. According to witnesses, the driver didn't try to get away, but instead got out of the car, grabbed the pedestrian who was lying on the road, and began to beat him in the face, shouting, "Watch where you're going, you fucking bitch!" The threat was left by a 4th grade student who didn't have time to buy a ticket to the premiere.
510 complete.
Excellent. All of you are awesome.
in progress. 110A complete.
Great. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Okay. Perfect. He grabbed the beer. Shit. He entered the store, went right for the alcohol, picked up a 6-pack of beer, and then headed to checkout. He handed the cashier his credit card, and then he pulled out a gun and shot her in the head. And then the guy finished him off, and then he ran out. Maybe it was a real bike. Yeah, there it is. During the premiere of a new movie about a secret agent, Jasmine Roach, a man burst into the theater and started loudly protesting the violence of the film. At first he was just verbally abusing the people who were trying to enjoy the show, but it quickly turned into a full-on fight. We already have reports of one victim. Damn it, Beasley. We'll get you tomorrow. Oh shit, okay.
Sunrise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
I'll send Chavez too. It is stuck at 3 in the morning. Excellent. You all are great. End the day. End the day.